All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Resilient Voices, the podcast. And in this episode, I have a woman with me from Thailand. Her name is Sandra, and she has a story that will really call for some resilience. And she's gone through some major obstacles, if we put it that way, Sandra, in her life. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So just tune in and listen to our conversation. So yes, with that said, welcome, Sandra.
Thank you, Jessica.
Mm.
Nice to see you
So
again.
lovely to see you. Yes, again. We did have a conversation about this, but we had some technical issues then, so we're doing a repeat, and I'm sure it's going to be just as good, if not even better, this time.
I hope so. I'm not at the nail therapist then now, at least, because last time I was.
Yeah, but you got lovely nails still.
Thank you. Do you say nail therapist? Oh, that was just a word maybe that I.
Well, it's you've done a manicure. You're a manicurist. Now, what do you call nail therapist? I don't know. But
I don't know.
You do.
But he's taking good care of my nails anyway, so I guess in a way
That is a very good. And Sandra, you're online with me today because you actually live somewhere else completely these days. So where are you located today?
I am located in Thailand, Koh Lanta, an island outside Krabi.
Nice. You created yourself a new life there.
Yes, I have. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So in a way, that's sort of you've closed the circle, haven't you?
I very much feel like I have. Yes, for sure. Even though lately it has come out some things which is just really important, and I'm going to mention it later, but it's about roots and so on. And there's a lot of things going on in my life right now. And I would love to mention that later on. We'll get there.
That's I would love that because I've got a situation with roots. I just spoke to a friend this morning and said at the moment I feel a bit unrooted. I might just come with the whole fact of moving countries and continents and just starting something new somewhere else. But let's just share your story. I know that you've got a very a story that about resilience, about it was a life-changing story in so many ways, and you faced fear full on.
Oh yes.
Oh yes. So do you want to just sort of tell me or to share the story with the listeners that has not yet heard your story?
Yeah, I'm very happy to do that. And by the way, all of this fear, it has a gift after it, and that makes it like you become a bit fearless, and that's a great gift.
Yeah, it's a gift.
So yeah, it actually all sort of like started here where I am now in Thailand. I came here in the 90s. I've been since then traveling back and forth. I was first in Malaysia, actually. I was working a bit like as a model when I was younger, and I was sent over to Kuala Lumpur to do a photo shoot for Malaysian Airlines. So that was my first touch with this part of the world, and I was not really old at that time. I was like in my, I don't know, 19, 20 or something like that. Modeling has not really been my thing. I just got into it. So I was there for some months doing some things, and then I just got done with it. And I wanted to travel, so I came here to Thailand. And it was really love at first sight. I fell in love with this country, all of the beauty, the people, the culture, the food, everything, really. And I kept on coming back every year. And then in 2004, I was also here. I was in Khao Lak then when the tsunami hit here. And that was one of the worst hits here in Thailand, just in Khao Lak. And I was, at the place where, like, I would say if I wouldn't have exactly been where I was at exactly that minute where I was, probably I wouldn't have been sitting here today. So I choose to think of it, and like there's like I had guardian angels and a huge reason for why all of this happened and why I had to go through it and so on. The tsunami itself, I was going out to Similin Island to dive. So I was landing here in Thailand in Phuket Christmas Eve. And then, as probably all know, this happened on Christmas Day. And I didn't have any sleep at all, almost, because I was very nauseous. Something was going on. I could feel it, and I couldn't get rest. I couldn't sleep. And then I sort of like was up all the night, and because we landed late as well. And then the alarm rang, and we just were a bit late because I was so tired and to get stuff together. So we almost missed this diving boat that we were going to go out to Similin Islands to dive. And the boat actually sort of like left. So we were like, oh, hello, don't miss us, da-da-da. And that was just sort of like before the tsunami hit. So my salvation, my saving was that I managed to get on this boat because they came back for us. And then we went out on the sea. And then the wave came. So I arrived to Similin Island in a panic state where I saw the Thai people on the boat. There was something wrong. I also saw it on the island. I saw it on the sea, on the fishes. There was something wrong. Something happened. And I didn't understand what. But when the Thai people started to throw up, and I saw the panic in their eyes, I didn't know what to expect, but I understood it was something with the water, and I saw it myself. So I was very afraid. And then they said, like, we need to, or they went back out to the open sea, which was very, very not realistic for me, because if it was something in the water, I definitely didn't want to go out to the open sea. So I didn't know what was going on. We, in panic, come out to the open sea. There was a lot of boats just going around like this in panic. Nobody really said anything. I thought it was a terror attack first, and it was just absolute chaos. And then all these boats started moving, and they took us to a big, like a hangar ship with weapons and armor and so. So I definitely thought it was a terror attack then. And they just throw this rope ladders, overboard to just get people up to this boat. And it was panic. It was hectic. It was just throwing us up there, and then throwing life vests and so on. And they said, like, put a life vest on, hang on to something, don't stand close to the relingen. Vad heter det? Like
the rails. No, what it. What
No, do you see? So the boat where it's close to where the water is, like on the side.
That's sort of the rail around the boat. That sort of where you should not be outside if unless you're going for a swim or something.
Yeah. So they were saying, don't stand close, just hold on to something. There's a big wave coming, and I had no idea what that meant. I saw all of these people in panic. I peed myself. Puked over myself. I was so terrified. I looked down at that green water, and I was just thinking, okay, I might die now. So I looked in this green water, and I really just try to prepare myself. So if this will happen, that I will go down in this beautiful green, emerald green water, because this is like such strong things, visual things, because the water was so beautiful. I was like, and if I fall down there, if I'm going to drown, I prepared myself to die, really. It was terrifying.
So what was, just the water, what did it look like then?
So it was nothing at that time. And then it came like this. And that was it. So I didn't know, okay, if is there coming more? We tried to have like conversation with the captain, like what's going on. We started to go and pick up people, injured people, dead people from the ocean. And then when it got dark, they decided to take us. So this was, it was many, many hours being out on the ocean. And I definitely didn't want to be on the ocean when there was something wrong with the ocean. So we go back to Kaulak, to the harbor, and it is just a nightmare. It is boats up in the trees, cars in the trees, mud everywhere, no electricity. It was a war zone, really. And when we came to also the chaos of not having a proper harbor or so to come into, it was really messy. And then they just said to us, okay, don't look anywhere, just run. And although I ran up, like with mud up to my knees, and it was difficult, and it was dark, and it was don't look anywhere. It was dead bodies. It was a disaster. And they all took us to some military trucks to get us away from there. And all the time it was chaos, this stress, this like of not knowing what was going on. And for later on, I understand how much this kind of stress of not being seeing what was actually happening, not knowing what could happen, but I saw the disaster, what it has done, but I didn't know what to expect. I was constantly thinking that the ground will open or, the water will come.
You still didn't know then that it had been a big wave and
No, I didn't understand. And it was just such a focus on going around picking up these people. And I have this woman that she sort of like, when she came, we rescued her up on the boat. She just looked at me, and she came and she grabbed me, and I was like her, the lead boy, like her. She hung on to me and she said, "You need to help me. I don't know what to do. I lost everyone. I lost my husband, and I don't know where he is. And I got saved by this small boat. How this happened, I don't know, but by a fisherman woman, like a Thai fisherman lady, who rescued her up on her boat. And she was so thankful that she gave away her wedding ring to this woman. And then when she got onto me and talked to me, she said, like, how can I don't know what to do. I gave away I might never even see my husband anymore, evermore. And it was just so, I was dealing a lot with that. Okay. And other things that was going on. And I didn't have answers and so on, but she just grabbed on me. And then coming to the harbor, getting saved by these trucks, taking us to a temple where they took everyone, like the survivors, also the dead people, and coming there, it was that was really a war zone. It was such a mess. It was so many injured people, dead people. It was implementing a lot here, what I had to witness and see at that time. And there was this girl, Swedish girl, because it's a lot of Swedish people in Kaulak, and she was maybe 5-6 years old, and this is really what has gone stuck in what I had to witness. And she was laying there on her belly. It was a big hole in her back, and she was crying for her mom. And these kind of things is so still there. And it was like I felt so I couldn't help her. It was such chaos all around. And I said to my boyfriend, you need to take me out of here. I can't witness this. What are we gonna do? So we just went to sit somewhere and to just think, like, what are we gonna do now? And then there is another panic, like, attack happening around all of these hundreds and hundreds of people. They were saying it's another wave coming. So everybody just start to run all over each other in panic, jumping up to things, climbing up on things. And we just decided to do the same and to go somewhere high, somewhere up all the time. It was like the stress of to get up, go somewhere, escape, run. So I jumped up on a small truck where I can hang on the side like this. And I lost my boyfriend somewhere. And then there was this guy who hung on the other side, and we just looked at each other, sharing the moment of this chaos and death. And I remember we ran over a dog or so, and he died, and you hear this sound of, it was just chaos. And then they went onto the side of the road, and the truck välte, got on the side.
Tipped over.
Right, tipped over, and we all fell off, and everybody was still like, okay, where to climb up, higher. So I climbed up a palm tree. Imagine that.
You didn't know that you had those skills, did you?
But you do, in this kind of, you do. So, and after me came people, and we were aiming to jump up on a roof up. And when I come up there, I just see that it's too much of a distance for me to actually jump from this to there to grab onto something. But you do. And I got like this, like hang to something, and then I called myself up. People are coming after, and I just, at this point, I still have memory loss, because I come up to the top of the roof, and then the roof breaks. So I fell down, and I fell down to one of this major things that was holding up this building, like a couple of meters down. So I and hurt my back and my neck. I felt something happen. There's a gap of, I don't know for how long, because I just remember, in the way that I remember it, was just sitting there screaming out of my lungs, screaming out of, my boyfriend was gone. It was just, I didn't know what to do. And then the next memory is that we were trying to get up on a mountain. So he was there, and we were climbing up this mountain. It was totally dark. I have no idea how long it took for us to get up there. But a couple of days later, when I was on my way down, I remember thinking, how the hell did we get up here in the middle of the night? So we spent the night there, and I was in huge pain. We were sleeping on each other because it got cold in the night. And it was mainly Thai people and us, and just trying to keep each other warm, and there was nothing to eat or to drink. And I was in huge pain in my neck. And luckily, it was a Thai doctor there, and he had some pills. So he gave me, so I could just, at least, because it was something wrong with my neck.
Had you found your boyfriend at that step, or was it?
Yeah, we were together. So when we decided that we dared to go down this mountain again, we didn't know what to expect. We were super afraid of to go down, coming down to this mess. And then we got guided to go to some resort where they put all of the survivors and so on, Scandinavian people. And I was there for 3 days, until they came knocking the door at 3 a.m. in the morning, saying, you can go home now, or there is a plane coming to get you. And that was 3 days out of, or even 4, maybe. I'm not sure exactly. Doesn't matter. But these 24 hours of constant panic, of being so afraid. We were not too far away from the ocean also, and that was my biggest fear, to be near the water.
Yes.
So anyways, we get to the airport, and there stands a Finnair airplane. And for 3 days, I have been thinking, where's Sweden? Why don't they come and get us? Where's the rescue? So at that moment, there was something planted in me, which will have a huge matter in the rest of the story, that I sort of like had this feeling of, where is my country? You think of Sweden as a safe, country, good working in all of these ways, and that you can feel safe and so on. For me, that was not it. So having the Finnish airline coming there to pick us up I remember that I thought about it, like, okay. So we came back to Sweden, and Arlanda airport was something different, because the Red Cross was there taking care of people, and it was so weird. The police, you have to give away if you had any cameras or anything, and just like all of this structured things of what you needed to do when you just wanted to go and see your family and so on. And the only thing what really helped me during this first days, which actually a priest that I talked to, I met a lot of psychologists and so on, doctors and so on, but that was also like a memory of that was the only thing that was helping at that time. Someone who really asked, "How are you?" like that. Doctors, they were just like, "Okay, so take a couple of weeks off from work, and then here you go, some sleeping pills, and then everything will be fine." Because what happened was that they put us in two läger, like
two camps, they divided up you into two different areas.
the ones
Is that at the airport when you came to the airport?
already. The people who survived, who didn't have anyone around them that died, and the people who survived who had family or friends or so that died. So we were supposed to be fine after a couple of weeks. And I got back to work. I was working at National Swedish Television at this time, doing children's television. And I was very, very injured in many ways. The back pain and so on was like it happened, but this would grow. The pain and the damage that happened, it would come more with time. So I just went back to life and to the work that I had and so on. And then after some while, I really started to tear down, and I didn't understand why, because it became very physical. Like I would start to shake and like lost my speech, my hearing, and I was very ashamed. So I tried to just press it down, and when I did, it went 10 times worse.
Yeah.
My body was so filled with trauma that the body needed it to get out.
Yeah. Because could you sleep at night? Would you? Because what you were explaining and describing is like you experienced.
It was nightmares. It was nightmares. It was no sleep at all. I can say. I just remember at one point, one night, I see my boyfriend standing at the window, like looking out, and he's in some kind of, I don't know, psychosis where he's like, "Oh, we're all dead." Da da da. It was a very weird time, this time, but my body started to tear down, anyways, and I lost my job. I was very unfunctional, but I had to go to the hospital all the time because they'd been on this. I mean, it was quite severe. Every time I would faint, or it would be that my body just collapsed and being unfunctional. And coming into the hospitals, it was all about finding physical reasons. So they very much focused on my heart, for example, and they were so determined that it was something wrong with my heart. And of course it was, because it was racing, it was all of these things happening, but still they couldn't connect the dots of,
Which is
what
really, if it feels like this is like several hundred years ago. We're talking about 20 years ago in a country that's supposed to be very developed, and they couldn't really see that it might have been something completely different. That the trauma and your pain came from actually from. I mean, it was a post-traumatic stress syndrome, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It took a year before I got that diagnosis. And this year in my life was very devastating. It was going very fast downwards in a spiral, taking everything. It was a year of chaos where I was supposed to be working, functional. I lost my job, but still I was supposed to get a new job. So this year was, I was out on auditions. I could learn all of this text and so on, stand in front of a camera and do auditions, and then right after, boom, collapse, hospital, da, da, da. This is how it was. And the system was expecting me to be up and running, fine, working, being normal. I was very, very ill. I was unfunctional, but still this is what I tried to cope with and keep up with. So yeah, it wasn't working. I lost my job. I sort of like surrendered into myself, like what is going on with me? Why? What is happening? So I started to, instead of to suppress things, I started to go into the panic attacks and just like let the body do what it wanted to do, the shaking. And this is for the first time when I actually find how I could use my breath to help myself.
Mm. Mm.
And that was very, very essential, because that is what took me through. And then gradually, this was a roller coaster for a long time, because this year it was really like a downward spiral. As I said, I was supposed to be functional, working like this is what the system was expecting out of me. I was too ill for that. It was becoming more and more of a mess. I couldn't work, and I started to get behind. Debts was coming, and I got more and more panicked about that. And then in the well, actually quite fast, which is also kind of incredible in a country like Sweden. But during this year, lost my job, lost my home. I got in debts, into a position where I couldn't get another apartment. I couldn't have a TV. I couldn't have a phone. At this time, you couldn't. Now it's different, because now you can. But at that time, I couldn't. So I was it's locked. I couldn't. It was very, very difficult. And at this time, I got a TV job offer from the Netherlands, and I was in panic and chaos. And I had a son. I needed a roof over my head. I was staying with my family and friends and so on. But being a woman of, what was I then? Almost 30 years old, this was not really working. So I decided to take this job. And that was not the right place for me to come to in the state where I was.
Because you still were suffering.
I was. Yeah, I was still. And mostly like this meant that I had to leave my son at that moment. The plan was to go for a few months to earn some money so that I could just come back and pay my debts and get back on my feet again. Yeah. But I was in such a mess, and this place to come to under the circumstances and how I felt, and definitely number one being about my son. He was with his dad. It was absolutely killing me. I couldn't be functional. So what I did is that I worked during the daytime. I did my studio hours, and as soon as I was finished with work, I went out to party, drank a lot, eventually drugs, and that was what I was doing until it was time to work. I could go from the club directly into the studio, into the makeup, fix this, go in, work, and this is how it was. And it was making me feel worse and worse and worse. And then the money was not saved. It was nothing working. So I had to come up with another plan. And that's when I started to really, because the debts was still, when you come into debts and you cannot pay, it just goes so fast when it goes up. It's like, it's like impossible to keep up with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I started to brainstorm myself and like, okay, need to fix this in another way. How fast can we get more money, and how much? So I started to research to see, okay, what do I have? What can I do? How can I get money very fast? A lot of money very fast. And I realized that there was this jungle of escorting services where you can own a lot of money in a very short time. So I thought, I'm an actress, used to do some modeling, bring it on. So this is very weird, because this world, it was not a long career, I can say, but I had the time to see enough. And it was just girls in the same situation like me, former models and sort of like that, the same kind of type. But that in one way or another got into problems and needed to fix it fast. And it was going down to Brussels, getting flown down there on an airplane, first class, very luxury, coming down to this agency, sitting for 3 days in interviews, checking my IQ, all of this, da-da-da. See if you can grill me and see if I, got it and could. Because this was the clients, or how to say it, was very, uh, political people, people with a lot of money, smart people. So we need to.
So that's why you need to have some. Yeah. So you need to have some great IQ so you can have a conversation. And
Exactly.
wow.
And you know what? I got the job. So
Wow.
I was, I was doing that for a very short period, but it was a lot of damage. And because it is prostitution, and prostitution is not always about being in a dirty corner somewhere. It's the same amount of damage, even if you're in a luxury hotel or restaurant or whatever. The damage is the same. So, yeah, they got worse. They got so bad until a point later on, still, where I tried to end my life and took an overdose and ended up in the hospital. And I was alone. Nobody in my family knew what was going on. It's very weird being in this situation. I actually died because I went over on the other side, or how to call it. It was, I died. And something over there I got with me. I can't explain it in words what that was or how it felt like, but this was definitely paradise. I was feeling so good, so safe, so happy, so in harmony. It was just a fulfillment of just absolute paradise within. And I just wanted to stay there. I was accepting it. And then I got thrown back in the hospital. I remember waking up and I threw up in a nurse. And it was dirty. It was just a mess. And I got flown back to Sweden. And I think I was in a psychosis or something or in this between the worlds, or how to say it, for months. I couldn't talk to people. I couldn't hear what people were saying. I couldn't talk myself. I was like in between. And this took. I was living at my brother's place then, and first, to just get out of the door, and then to maybe get on a bus, or to go because he was living on the countryside outside Stockholm. 10 months later, to be able to sit on that bus and go into Stockholm city. This was a major thing for me. And from where I came from with everything, doing television, in front of the camera and all of this was, I know, so weird.
Yeah.
But somewhere here, my life started to take a turn.
Okay.
Yes. Because at this point also, I had nothing. They took everything away from me. I think it's the beliefs. I think it's called kronofogden. I think it's the beliefs. I don't know the word. When they take everything that you own, all the
to the collectors, debt collectors.
They've taken everything, and then I mean, like, in the apartment that I sort of like had at that moment in the cellar, they took all of the things from when I was a child. Like, I got this thing from my grandma where I stored all of or grandma actually. So it was a very valuable thing, even if it was just like maybe not for anyone else worth anything, but for me it was something from my family, and I was very close to my grandmother, and all my school books from when I was a child, my oldest son's baby clothes, photographs, diaries, my whole identity gone. So,
But it has no value for anyone else.
no, for me, that was the hardest part of that point. I felt, take my money, take my house, take my whatever. I didn't have a car, but, take everything. But taking that, it was like really the last of the, I had nothing else to give them. Nothing else. And that's where I found it. What is in here? Nobody can take it. And I was like, I felt such a freedom. I felt so free. I was like, because I already went through the worst and the worst already. So I was like, what more can you take? Nothing. In here? Forget about that. And from there, it was this little golden thing that started to grow. And I just felt some confidence and just started to slowly build up myself. It took a long time. I would say almost till a few years ago to build myself up. And then I mean that from the inside with all that is me, but also everything else, being able to have a home, to have to build up these kind of things. But out of this pain and misery and chaos and death and panic and all of this fear, SoulFitness, the company that I have, was born. And I started to realize that when I dared to share my story and dared to open up my heart, and when I could come over the shame of how I have treated myself and what I've done and so on, being so desperate, my son, putting myself through the things that I did, all of the alcohol and drugs, I just, I don't know. I got over the shame. And when I did, and when I started to share, I started to feel, okay, I'm getting lighter. I don't. And that's where it started. And I started to see that when I shared my story and dared to open up my heart and my truth, people wanted to listen, and people got things out of it. They didn't feel alone. It was things that I could help them with. I was actually sitting on keys that I had because of what I went through, that I could help other people. So I started to really feel that deep connection of having things that was very valuable, not only to me, because first it was about building up myself, but then I could help other people build themselves up as well.
So could you then start to see that this hadn't happened just in vain, but you actually could do something with your experiences, and that could...
at this point where I felt this enormous freedom within, this little golden, that's when it started to feel, like, okay. And today I can say, even though all of the pain and misery and all of the shit that happened and I had to go through, I wouldn't change a thing. Nothing. Because every tiny little thing, I haven't figured it all out yet, but quite a lot of it, that I see what it has given. And there was a huge value in that. And I wouldn't change that for the world where I am today. And look at me here now. I'm sitting here in where it all started. And at the beach where I have a health studio, helping people coming over their traumas, helping with the tools that I have, to help other people here from all over the world. It's like so amazing. I can sit in the studio and I'm like, Scotland, South Africa, Egypt, like from all over the world. And they're sitting there, and the only thing that is needed every single time when I do a session, even if it's breath work or yoga or in front of an ice bath class, I start to connect. And I just, even when I do fitness classes, because we do breath work within everything that we do, I base the whole foundation in SoulFitness is breathing, to connect with your breath. And you can use your breathing for really so many things to heal yourself. and different techniques and so on. It's called different names. It is done in different ways, but there is no one size fits all. So even if we have all of these names on the techniques and so on, it's about finding your uniqueness in your breath, because that's also very, unique. So it's amazing to see that little thing sitting. Hello, I'm Sandra. I'm going to share a little bit about why I'm sitting here today with you, and I'm just opening up my heart. And right away, I see people relaxing, connecting, getting emotional, getting in touch with themselves. And then we have all of these amazing sessions where people are like, just after an hour, walking out with something else. And it means the world to me. It really does. And I'm sitting right in front of the ocean. I'm at the beach where I have this huge the huge drama. Karma, I was going to say. That is also not too far away from me.
Yeah, and that's amazing. I think this whole podcast is about resilience, and people. I talk to women, as you know, but they've gone through some really difficult times, and they that made them stronger. But I think that your story is the most. It really goes deep. It's really a deep trauma, and what you went through, and what you've gone through, and how deep down you went, and then decided to just to come back and find your inner strength, and also taking all those experiences and just go back to where it started, and be grateful for what has been, and see that you don't want to change a thing. Then you realize that, wow, it is profound, it's powerful. And so thank you so much, Sandra, for what you do, and how openly you share. I think it's super, super important. And
Thank you.
Within just within this chaos and everything, it is something stronger. Like you said, no one can take this away from me, and from that place, and just take all of this and then just build something new in a different way. So
and going from the world that I was in, it was TV, it was like all this flashy life and da-da-da, money, blah, blah, blah. I've gone to a point in life where the most quiet ones or shy ones, or, just have such an interest to know what's in there, and it's everyone is unique in their way. And I have such a huge passion and interest into to get to know people on the, and it's anyone and everyone really. It's so interesting, and this is what I see through my sessions and so on, that can be people from all over the world, big different backgrounds, trauma, as always to say. Even if you are rich as hell, poor as hell, whatever, it affects us the same.
Yeah. And you got yourself an amazing toolbox, and I think what you say about everything, it is how you connect with people from the heart, and you show your vulnerability. And I think that is obviously, I think that's the key to actually really connect on a deeper level with people.
It is open heart on the table, no judging, just being open. It's really the key, and it's fascinating. It's absolutely beautiful to see. And I'm going to come back to that, what I mentioned in the beginning, where I said about the roof. So now I've been here for 3 years, and we decided to move here full time, mainly because of my youngest son, who was going to start school, and I didn't cope with or resonate with anything what Sweden had to offer, actually, and especially where we were living at that time. So for me, that was the button that really pushed us here. I've been here a lot. I've been here at Konlanta. I know I worked. They have 2 Swedish schools here on the island and so on. So that was like the push button to get us here. I've been here for 3 years now, almost not getting off the island. I went back to Sweden the first first year in the beginning, because I thought that I needed to go back to work and earn some Swedish money, because here we live on the Thai baht, and we are also, since this is season work, what I do, I thought that this is what I needed to do. After being there doing that, I just decided I'm not going to do this again, because it was coming from here and then going there, and in Sweden it's so expensive, so all the money just went around. Anyways, lately I have been feeling, because also the 2 latest years in Sweden before I came here, I worked 100%. Like I had a job where I was putting light on things, and I was really like working a lot for earning nothing, up to just put light on things, which I didn't think was okay or going in a good direction in Sweden and so on. And then I just got so done with this struggle, and I just felt I just want to live. I want to be free. I want to live my life. I want to be happy. I want to live in the now. So that's part of also why we came here. And then lately, I have been feeling, landing in all of this, creating everything that I've done. I have had some really true miracles also happening here, with things like people would say, like, but that's impossible. No, it isn't, because I believe in miracles. I've been through too many to know that it's true. So I started to feel the urge of the Swedish nature. And I was like really starting to feel like I get a bit sick if I cannot be in the Swedish nature. So I started to manifest, okay, in the best of 2 worlds, what do you need? Yes, I would love to have a place in Sweden as well, where I can come for holiday, vacation, and be there under those rules, not in the system, or I'm expected to do this or that, or pay tax, or like, no, I'm coming on a holiday. So this went actually quite fast. So now I'm leaving to Sweden tomorrow, and I'm getting married in 3 weeks with my partner that I've been with for over 3 years.
Congratulations. That's amazing news.
I proposed, though, but that's just 3 on a beach here in Thailand. Anyway, closer. But still, we started to manifest, okay, we need a place to come to us where we can just land when we are in Sweden. And, when you started to, how to say, understand the keys and what the mind does when you're putting focus into things, the more you work with that, the faster it goes. So this was just an idea that came up, and in a few weeks, boom, it happened. So now there's a lot of interesting stuff happening. I'm not moving back to Sweden, no, but I'm taking the best out of 2 worlds. I'm going to come to Sweden on holiday and have my own place with some of the things actually that me and my partner, we love the old stuff, like we went to Loppis and stuff. What is that called?
Flea market?
Yeah. Yes. So we sold a lot of things, but we stored and storage some. And I just, in my soul, in my being, I love being here. This is my life now. I'm not leaving Thailand. It's a huge part of who I am. But also it's a huge part of who I am being Swedish. I can think about the old fäbod. Sorry if I can't find Swedish or English word sometimes. Old buildings from like the very, very old Swedish things I have a huge love for. And I just need to be a part of that and to go to this very old place and the nature. I don't need to find about the peaceful. Yeah, that's just the nature and a bit of the culture of Sweden, which is very, very much who I am. So let's see what we create next year, but that's the plan for now.
That sounds really good. It sounds like you're really creating something out of the best of 2 worlds then, if that's what you're looking for and your soul is calling for, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It is really. I need to dig my hands into the dirt and just be reading some Swedish for a bit.
Yeah. The nature obviously is very different than in Thailand. So
definitely, yes, it is. I mean, this is paradise. There is nothing to complain about here, but it is hot. It is. I miss the clear. I need that in my life. I need it in my life. And I'm going to have it in my life because it's my life. And I'm creating that for myself. So with that said, if I can just bind it up a little bit.
Yeah, yes.
My passion is to have the same for you who are listening or so.
Yeah.
Or to help you with the tools, or to help you to dare to take the step. Throw yourself out. Because that's what's needed. Nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to fix you. You have to do the work. But I'm here to help if you dare to take the step.
Yeah.
And there is miracle ways. Don't close yourself in. Don't limit yourself. I am an example of that. Everything is possible. So please reach out if there's anything that I can help you with.
That's beautiful, Sandra. And I got a question then. Okay, but you must have something special then who could have done this. I mean, I know how thoughts may run through some heads and just like, so no, but Sandra is special. She
authenticity. And people see when you're true to yourself, you're true to others, and people will see this. It's about energy. And believe me, I mean, this is what I've seen, as I said, all of the shy little gray mouses who thinks nothing about themselves blooming up, understanding their own value. It's not about the looks. It's not about the money or the things that you have. It's about waking up something that is you. And when you find that, there is no limits. It takes some job. You need to do the shadow work. You need to dig in. There is no fast track. There is no quick fix at all.
Yeah.
But there is tools and keys for how to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that what you say, a lot of people are looking for a quick fix. A lot of people are looking for shortcuts because now more than ever, we do have the quick, take a pill for this, do this. I mean, it is very much focused on the quick fixes. But for you, what you're describing, it's taken you almost 20 years, 15 years to do the work with yourself and to really face your trauma and do the work and really have the courage. Because what I think you're describing as well, you began with that as well. I mean, when you've gone through and when you face true fear, the gift is that you actually get fearless.
Yeah.
And I think really what you're talking about is courage then, because fear may be there, but still you know that you have resources, you know that you've been through some difficult times, you faced some fears, but you overcame that. So you just arm yourself with some courage.
Yeah.
And then act on that. Does that resonate?
Yeah, definitely. And this is the reason why we go through things. So no matter how hard it looks at the moment, there will be a reason. There will be a reason for it. And even we can talk really, really heavy stuff, but I can assure you that there is keys and things coming out of it that you might not see or understand now, but you will if you do the work and if you dig in and throw yourself into it. Be miserable, cry, be angry, be all of these things. Just live it out, dig it in, just growl, do the deep work, and just throw it.
Yeah, because the healing is in the feeling, right? You have to feel the emotions. You have to face them. You have to go through it, because on the other side, that's where you can find the peace and those other emotions that obviously bring more life into us as human beings.
Yes, so start to find your breath. You can always, whenever, just connect with your breath. Where am I? How am I breathing? You can just map yourself out with your breath, actually. How is it moving? When is it going up? When is it going down? Your breath is telling you something.
Yeah, your breath is the key, absolutely, yeah.
The breath is the greatest tool that we have. It's for free. We have as much as we want. We can use it whenever. It's the absolute greatest tool that we have. That's the way I see it. You can do so many things of healing, connecting with your breath.
Yeah. And I share the same passion for the breath as well as you, Sandra. And I think it's because it's and what sits in the body and how we can use the breath to really release what is stuck in the body, because that's what trauma is. It gets stuck in your body, in your system, and the breath helps you to move through it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot of retreats. I used to do some of my own. I am, to be honest, a little bit done with the quick fix thinkers. So for now, I am actually focusing on to work in another way, more one-on-one, and I do take other people in to come and do retreats. I was very drained after my last retreat of realizing how few it is that really is there to do the work. And it's not, if you're coming and you're thinking like, oh, okay, I will invest in this to be fixed. Still, it's not working. You need to do the work. But I have so many good therapists and so on coming, and we're doing together. I will help with many tools that I have. So have an eye open for the retreats coming up here. It's a beautiful way and place to be to dig in Thailand.
Yeah. It sounds lovely. It sounds, and we will obviously share all the details for you, Sandra, how people can get hold of you and to just connect with you and see what you can do for them. And obviously, I hear it very clearly, and I hope that others do as well, that you're not interested in just scratching the surface, but you want to help people go deep, and that you want them to actually dig in for some courage and with the knowingness that they all have it.
Yeah. Yes. You willing to do the work? Great. Let's get on it.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you have like one tool, one except from the breath? Do you have another, like how did you manage in those really dark moments? Did you with mindset work, or is there any other sort of tool that you
used? The authenticity, as I said, heart on the table. You're going to be surprised if you dare to be true and just to be very, very naked. No, let's rephrase that. Let's say like this, what I always say in my meditations and so on when I ended up. Being in and from your heart will always keep you safe. Simple as that. So you can always feel secured talking and being from your heart. That's my greatest advice. And it doesn't matter then, like, how is things supposed to be said, or what words do I need to use? So if it's authentic, if it's real, it's from the heart, people will feel it. And then, so that would be my suggestion of how to do things, really. And breathe.
And breathe.
Breathe from the heart.
Yeah. Breathe from the heart. That's the key. That's the phrase, isn't it? Thank you so much, Sandra. Thank you for just sharing your story. And I think it's a super important story. It is. I get very emotional each time I hear it. But also I know that you're sharing from your heart, from your wisdom, and just really want good things for the world and for the people that are prepared to listen to your story and know that you've overcome all of this for a reason. Yeah. And I think that's a beautiful reminder that we're here for a reason, and
everyone,
and just
everyone.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Jessica, so much for letting me share.
Thank you, and just continue and shine and do your work. And looking forward to see you in Thailand or in Sweden or maybe here in Portugal. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, I haven't been to Portugal yet, so why not bring it on the list?
We'll see. So thank you so much, Sandra, and thank you for for everyone that's listening today. Just really, maybe just grab a journal, just write down what came to you after what Sandra is sharing today, and just really know that you have everything it takes to just keep on shining and use your resilience and the strength that you have to just create some magic in the world. because that's definitely needed for sure.
Definitely.
So with that said, till next time, take care, and let's hear from you soon. And thank you so much again, Sandra. Over and out from Portugal. I encourage you to subscribe to Resilient Voices and follow along on social media, where we'll be sharing updates, resources, and stories from our growing community of resilient women. And if you ever feel inspired or have a story to share, don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to hear from you. You can also use the hashtag Resilient Voices to connect with other listeners who are on their own journeys of transformation.